Hello everyone, I am Dr. Aishwarya Balap. In this video, we are going to discuss about Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, that is FTIR. Albert Abraham Michelson developed Michelson interferometer, which converted frequency domain spectra into time domain, that is a different type of coding, and this coding spectra will be decoded in the form of IR spectrum. Normal spectrum is frequency domain. So what do you mean by frequency domain spectra? It is a plot of intensity versus frequency. So intensity as a function of frequency versus frequency will be recorded in the form of spectrum. Whereas in FTIR, it is a time domain spectrum where plot of intensity versus time, that is time to time, the intensity of the radiation will be measured. So it is called the Fourier transform of the frequency spectrum. Each version of the spectrum contains the same information. Conversion to one form to other can be accomplished by a computer. Here you can see the interferograms and spectra. If only one frequency is involved in the interferogram, the spectra will show the single line. If two frequencies are involved, here you can see the two lines in the spectra. If the two frequencies are uneven in nature, you can see these two lines with the unequal height. If the frequency is weak in nature, you will get a broad peak. But if the intense frequency is there, that is high range of the frequency, then you will get a proper peak in the spectrum. Michelson interferometer. Based on the use of an optical modulator, that is interferometer, interferometer modulates radiation emitted by an IR source, producing an interferogram that has all infrared frequencies encoded into it. Just now we have seen the interferograms and spectra. Interferometer performs an optical Fourier transform on the IR radiation emitted by the IR source. The whole infrared spectrum is measured at high speed. Spectral range is continuously calibrated with helium neon laser. Fast, extremely accurate measurements will be done. So, interferometer have simplest design, beam splitter for dividing the incoming IR beam into two parts, two plane mirrors for reflecting the two beams back to the beam splitter where they interfere either constructively or destructively depending on the position of the moving mirror. Position of moving mirror is expressed as optical path difference, OPD. So here in this diagram you can see from IR source whatever the radiation is coming, with the help of this beam splitter it will be splitted into two parts. One will go to the stationary mirror and the another one will go to the moving mirror. And after coming back from these two mirrors, the radiation or frequency of that radiation will go towards the sample. Electromagnetic radiation can be described as sine waves having definite amplitude, frequency, and phase. When electromagnetic waves interact, interference is observed. Depending on the relative phase of the waves, interference is either destructive or constructive. So here you can say if both the waves are in phase, so there will be formation of constructive interference will be there. So you can see the amplitude of this wave has been increased. Sometimes this interference will be partially, but that will not be considered into the interferogram. But another one is when these both the waves are out of phase. At this, when both the waves are completely out of phase, you will get the destructive interference. So here you can say there will not be any increase in the amplitude, but there will not be any wave coming to the sample. So when moving mirror is in the original position, the two paths are identical and interference is constructive. If whatever from the source, the radiation is coming, when these moving mirror and stationary mirror are at equal distance, then the reflecting back whatever the waves will be there, these will be in phase. So they will form constructive interference. When the moving mirror moves one fourth of wavelength, The path difference is half wavelength and interference is destructive. Mirror moves back and forth at constant velocity. The intensity of the interference signal varies as a sine wave. Here, in this diagram, it is more clear how it works. Stationary mirror is very much fixed, that is, it will not move. Movable mirror is continuously moving towards the beam splitter and away from the beam splitter. So, according to this movement or the distance at which it is going to move, there will be formation of constructive and destructive interference will be there. So if it is not moving at all, there will be constructive interference. So if there is no movement of the mirror, then at that time there will be a constructive interference. If the movement is by the one fourth of the wavelength, then there will be a destructive interference. Likewise, there will be formation of constructive and destructive interferences continuously. When the moving mirror travels in either direction by the distance one fourth, the optical path is changed by 2 or half. The two beams are 180-degree out of phase with each other and thus interfere destructively. As the moving mirror travels another one fourth distance, the optical path difference is now 2 or 1. The two beams are again in phase with each other and result in another constructive interference. When the mirror is moved at a constant velocity, the intensity of radiation reaching the detector varies in a sinusoidal manner to produce the interferogram output. The interferogram is the record of the interference signal. It is actually a time domain spectrum and records the detector response changes versus time within the mirror scan. Considering a single frequency component from the IR source reach the detector, because here the source used is helium neon laser, which is a very much monochromatic source, where the source is monochromatic such as laser source. So differences in the optical paths between the two split beams are created by varying the relative position of moving mirror to the fixed mirror. If the two arms of the interferometer are of equal length, the two split beams travel through the exact same path length. The two beams are totally in phase with each other, thus they interfere constructively and lead to a maximum in the detector response. This position of the moving mirror is called the point of zero path difference, ZPD. So at this point, whenever the constructive interference will form due to the movement of this moving mirror, at this point, the maximum intensity of the radiation will reach to the sample, and at that time, whatever the absorption will be there in the sample, that will be measured by the detector. So here you can see the complete diagram of FTIR containing source. From the source, radiation will come. This radiation, that is monochromatic radiation, as the source is monochromatic helium neon laser, this radiation will be splitted into two parts. One will go towards the fixed mirror, another one will go to the movable mirror, which is moving constantly with the help of piston and motor. So due to the movement of this moving mirror, there will be formation of constructive and destructive interference will be there at each movement of this mirror. So when the highest intensity, that is at the constructive interference, the radiation reach to the sample, there will be absorption by the sample will be there of the IR radiation. So after absorption, whatever the transmitted radiation will be there, that will go to the detector, and from the detector whatever the response will be taken, that will go to the computer, which will convert this time domain spectrum into the IR spectrum, which is going to get recorded. So, what are the advantages of this Fourier transform IR spectroscopy compared to the normal IR? This technique is much faster because all of the frequencies are measured simultaneously. Most measurements by FTIR are made in a matter of seconds rather than several minutes. So, this is an extremely fast technique if you compare it with the conventional IR spectroscopy. Here, another advantage is sensitivity increases. That is, use signal averaging to increase signal to noise ratio. The detectors employed are much more sensitive. The optical throughput is much higher, which results in much lower noise levels. And the fast scans enable the co-addition of several scans in order to reduce the random measurement noise to any desired level. That is, signal averaging will take place. So with this diagram, you will come to know if only one scan is there, you can see the how much noise is there in that scan. And if you scan it 4 times, so you can see the noise level has been decreased. So likewise, if you scan 16, 64, and at 256 scans, if you take the average of 256 scans, you can see that here the noise level has been very much decreased as compared to the signal. So by taking the signal averaging, you can actually reduce the signal to noise ratio in FTIR. So as higher inherent signal to noise ratio will be there due to no slits, less optical equipment, and higher light intensity. Here, another advantage is higher resolution is there as compared to the normal IR spectroscopy. Another advantage is mechanical simplicity. The moving mirror in the interferometer is the only continuously moving part in the instrument. Thus, there is very little possibility of mechanical breakdown. Another advantage is internally calibrated. These instruments employ a helium neon laser as an internal wavelength calibration standard. These instruments are self-calibrating and never need to be calibrated by the user. So self-calibration will take place as the monochromatic IR source is there. So it itself will calibrate the instrument. So, Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy is preferred over dispersive or filter methods of infrared spectral analysis for several reasons, like it is a non-destructive technique, it provides a precise measurement method which requires no external calibration, it can increase speed, collecting a scan every second, it can increase sensitivity. 1 second scans can be co-added together to ratio out random noise. It has greater optical throughput. It is mechanically simple with only one moving part. So, whenever the constructive interference is going to take place and destructive interference, time to time or every second, the measurements will be taken. So, it is a very fast technique. So, number of scans will be taken within fraction of seconds, and all these scans will be average, or the average of these signals will be taken for the final IR spectrum. That's why this technique is fast, precise, sensitive, more accurate as compared to the conventional IR spectroscopy. Along with the advantages, there are few minor disadvantages are there in FTIR compared to normal IR. Like single beam, it requires collecting blank. You have to take blank reading because this is not a simultaneously blank and sample will be taken. So you have to take the blank and then you have to take the readings for sample. Also, you cannot use thermal detectors in the FTIR because those are slow detectors. As this technique is very fast, so time domain is very important. So it requires the fast detectors as compared to the thermal detectors, which are other detectors like pyroelectric detectors and photoconducting detectors that will be more useful in FTIR.